Hey everyone, it's Dr. Jensen. I'm back in Phoenix after spending a week in Reykjavic, Iceland. I was there for the Global Podiatry Summit with the International Federation of Podiatrists. I was able to do a whole bunch of Dean's Chat, very short interviews between like 3 and 10 minutes. And what I've done is I've spliced them together, and you get an opportunity to meet leaders around the world in podiatry. And also some of the interviews are from the United States, but they're from all over the world, from Jerusalem to Italy to Greece. So enjoy these little snippets, and hopefully we can all meet at the Global Podiatry Summit meeting when they have it again in 2 years. So thanks, everyone. Enjoy. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. It's Jeff Jensen back with Dean's Chat. I am joined by the current president of the International Federation of Podiatry, that's Mr. Dan Weiss. How are you, Dan?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. This has been such a fabulous meeting. You're the president this year. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be the president of the organization. I think you did see yourself, and this Belarus is phenomenal. Called the GPS Global Podiatry Summit. It's done the third game of TCM and around for late afternoon. I think the grill is absolutely bad. The Covenant Squad and people are literally there from one ball to the other. They're doing amazing stuff. I'm by myself. I wasn't involved in the schedule.
Well, you've been a busy guy because I've been watching everywhere I go. You're giving a talk or introducing people. So you get any sleep? That's great. So, you know what I want to talk about? Originally, this meeting was scheduled to be in Jerusalem.
Correct.
And then it got moved to Reykjavik due to the settled nature of the world, right? Can you speak on that at all and how difficult it was to move it?
Well, it's a very good question. And we chose Jerusalem to begin with. It was anonymously chosen by the last AGM we had of the organization. That was kind of, in fact, that was what we come to the president. Now you do it, and the schedule was and we got really prepared where people was coming, so we got the hotels, we got everything was really literally they just had to sign up. And I was just before we were about to go ahead with it support for what happened in oil. It was like cook business as well. As literally send the whole country over. I want people to say, are we coming over or not? Now, to be fair and be honest, I said, was carrying on it in so because I know things were settled down at some stage every day. Unfortunately, they haven't yet. I have it. Nevertheless, I thought it was very complicated to come and make this. And then learning working, we were off together all the time. It's complicated. So technical. There was a decision made by the conservative to portray now to keep the order. So we wrote in. I was the minority, but I appreciate what this after being on itself, and I'm actually not actually they're grabbing at it. And actually about the state go and be just phenomenally around by everyone was involved. I mean they did all it is. Everyone we helped with those, especially captaining what you know, this is organizing the whole field house. There was a men's group as well. And when you don't know excited that they carried on to make it across the other one, I think about 5 really with 5 months. Fully cut it. You see the turnout with people, but not on the that. Easily despite all the changes. And properly. So, and in coming, you can see, I don't know, you had to read the length sometimes to know. And she feels hiccup here or hiccup there, that just doesn't know what him. And well, that out. I must have really goes to me, even though I'm involved, but I'm Jenny. As an outsider coming in, this is my first fit meetings. I'm impressed not only with the organization, but the collaboration and the togetherness of a profession. It spans the entire world. Even though we all have different scopes of practice, everybody has a common theme, and that's helping people fight problems. And as I just still my open out about its speech, there's something unique about International Federation of Podiatrists, which is the different, because then you have many English authority and many places around the world. You are very rituals. You have to I put things on the tape, and it comes from different places, but then after they all together cooking as well. So we can live what's I feel with strand out and can add to cost of your fashion much fat. You can add to ourselves a little bit. We got both Christians and how I mean him. But more important is to stick that straight and push it out. So otherwise, multidisciplinary people, you're working at the parallel professionals. I do want to work together with them, to collaborate with them. If we don't have this international end-to-end, we don't have this bonding, the profession is not going to be how they people and the rails EVs. We're filming there from an airport. These events are so good. My future will with me after and I'm the silly was named how could you get a lot together work of reward each and to me it's not to see them and if you're not things from far away they will have to feel doing that patch them up and something there or meet that they can look but I can't see this but to watch it around here people like chat to be no meeting every corner here between the sessions it's happening while we're talking and smiling but it's happening around us absolutely and I find this is something which is amazing. Look, you might say it happens everywhere. Not always. People are from different countries. Don't get the dynamic apparently. Oh, absolutely. When you come on stage and you have people with anyone towards has to be able to kill. So I don't know if you notice, we did something very unique in this in the Women Summit. We introduced the blood talk. Yes, I love that. The blood talks are amazing. Why did we have? You limited people to talk for 8 minutes. They can bring their side, they can be one of created in any language from their background. I've look at English obviously. But it's been our time the 7 about people to talk and not things that's going to come with are not what playing too much in if they publish what they're talking about. I do we see like sessions like this Iceland so that these people do not necessarily have a big background and coordinating made capabilities to come through and the best themselves are on you that if you become a person experience using him where feedback saying you literally refusing if that's a piece.
Very successful. I think it's something that more conferences expanding out here because it enables you to be more involved, be actually part of an even. So that was a brilliant decision.
I think, and you know yourself for what you're doing with Baird. In the outcasts you did, really know how I've used Tower, I mentioned, you get out and people in here were listening to it. I think at the end of the day, this is hard to find platform that's where you can express yourselves informally and at the same time spread the word of the world including and how I take the spirit. I'm sure people was listening to this podcast, so I was interviewed as well. And say, something interesting there. There's some innovation, some new technology interesting. So I have that amazing to use some of my slide background on innovation.
Oh, I would love that.
Or I found the first podiatry, I think that is there too, about the United States. By inventing technology, which basically helps badges all their patients when we put it at some. The technology is to measure your status using your phone, and then you can actually get a catalog that shows which will fit you online. So we're equal. And now the company in both us is a very small company shooting in the never end of the good night. and I can take generously thinking and skills, and I needed to encourage with some people like and kind of engineer and some software person, some business guy, and collaborate. We made a company, we established a company, made this technology, and wow, I've been so good. And now today, this technology is used daily a lot all year round.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. And now we're getting new things. And then it's when you take innovation, so you take selfish and you make it second your pie, you all you have to be better.
Absolutely. So can you share with our audience what it's like to practice in Israel? What is the environment like from a medical perspective?
Well, the there's plenty of work for everyone. Podiatry does not exist in terms of their schooling. So everyone who's working and practicing with us actually come from overseas, from like literally everywhere. So we have 3 civil and profession recognition, which means we have the podiatric surgeon, the podiatrist, and the kinetologs. And I just take the podiatrist 7 years ago, and we have now last end of the month. In the systems there we have about 10 million in all games, 9 official therapies. And there's some more which are now going through a process of rebuilding that and then recognized and like all of what to do with. Even though, say, as you know, do not always know what podiatrists are about. We're busy because we're working with the National Health, and we're working private this way. I personally have a relation to these deals in history and head of the advisory board to the Ministry of Health, as we'll try to enhance podiatry and the school, able to make sure the insurance company is recognized when the National Health to be able to open and say that podiatrists can plan. It's a lot of work, but the grounds are there now, so we enter schooling hopefully shortly. They'll also have a Weisz or we're going to start working. They've been there all for the media will then podiatry relevant. Patients don't have. So with a lot of work, we used to have the one more thing we have just now. Due to the situation in Israel and due to the war that's taking place, we initiated a high initiative to go down to the trenches with soldiers. All right. So it's an experience. You go out from your clinic, you go out to the field and treat serious problems that soldiers have and of a little harm mean, right? So you have to be there, not only clinically alignment, literally bring them down, get them to take their shoes off that haven't taken off about 2-3 weeks, and treat them. And we were received to not only by everyone. So this is another scope of practice which most people don't have that experience.
That's fabulous. What a contribution. So when you're starting a new school in Israel, on behalf of the United States and the KACPM that controls our curriculum, we're willing to help you anywhere you need.
Amazing. Thank you,
my friend. Thank you for joining us.
You very much. Thank you very much.
The president of the International Federation of Podiatry, Dan Weiss.
This is a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Jensen again with Feeds Chat. I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Dr. Matt Garoufalis. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're in beautiful Reykjavic, Iceland, and we're at the Global Podiatry Summit, sponsored by the International Federation of Podiatrists. And Dr. Garoufalis, let's go by your first names.
Matt.
Matt and Jeff.
Yes.
Matt is a past president of the International Federation of Podiatrists.
Yes.
How'd that happen?
Well, after I was APMA president, we had a working relationship with FIP. We would have the president of FIP come over to our House of Delegates. We would come over to one of their meetings once in a while. So we had a relationship with FIP. And after I was done with my term as president, they said, hey, we need some help over in FIP. We need an American presence. So I said, sure. Of course, my wife almost shot me when I said that. But so I jumped on board and became president of FIP in 2016. It's a 2-year term, and it was great. We really covered a lot of ground.
So, FIP, it's International Federation of Podiatry, or FIP.
Yes. Well, it's a French organization, so to translate it, it's International Federation of Podiatrists, and we just call it the American version, Federation. FIP. Sure. Much easier.
So, why does it exist, Matt? I mean, what is the origin?
It was starting actually 77 years ago in Europe to bring podiatrists together so they could share experiences and share educational resources. And it's just been growing since then. And as podiatry has grown, spread around the world, FIP has grown and spread around the world. It's 30 members now, 30 countries. So it's really a global organization. And we want to make sure that the educational resources are there to raise the level of education for podiatrists around the world, because they're all at different levels all over the place. Sometimes it's a short course for a few months, and in the U.S., as you know, it's 4 years of school, the residency, and all that. So, yeah.
That's interesting. So what are the challenges that we're dealing with? I mean, aside from scope of practice, is getting everybody on the same page, like defining what is a podiatrist, right?
Right. And there's a very lengthy definition that FIP has. We put it together several years ago. It's very broad, but wanted to include everybody, that all podiatrists, no matter what they do, can be included in this, talking about treatments of the foot and associated structures, because we want to say foot and ankle, because now everybody's going to treat the ankle, but foot and associated structures is in the definition of what a podiatrist is, what they do. And so it's very broad. We also wanted to include that they can do research, but in some countries they don't have the training to even do research. But yet it's in there because it's something to aspire to. Want to bring everybody up and aspire them to increase their educational levels. And that means they have to do what we did in the U.S. is, go to the legislature, increase your educational qualifications, raise that, and then you can build little by little. Easier said than done. In Europe, they think their feet are in cement, but they're not. If you just keep at it and raise your education levels, it'll work. There's an organization here in Europe, MPODE, which is the European group, kind of like what we have in the States with our colleges.
The AACPM.
AACPM, it's the same thing here in Europe. And MPODE is the European Colleges of Podiatric Medicine. And we're working with them to raise their level of education up so that everybody gets the best education, and they set minimum standards. So a few years ago, we were involved with the European Union, and we went to the European Parliament and spoke about podiatry and about the common training framework and getting education across Europe the same, so that these podiatrists can travel from country to country to country, because they all have the same qualification. Right? But you have to get the same qualification first. So that idea is there. It's going to take years to happen, right? And they have to work legislatively.
But look at the evolution of podiatry in the United States. It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight. And that's why I had a great time as president, because I explained to everybody how we started, where we came from, how we grew, and what it took to grow. And so they understand that, yes, we're talking about all this. We're not talking to make you upset or change the way you practice, but it's a process over time. And if you want to do it, you have to get involved legislatively. And they got to buy in. Not every country buys in. Some countries are very happy with their level of podiatry, and they don't think they want to go any further, because, as you increase your level of education, you increase your level of responsibility. Absolutely. And sometimes they're not eager to accept that. The current members aren't eager to accept that. And so it's a metamorphosis over time.
It's interesting. I've talked to some of the members, the FIP members that are here from around Europe, and I was sharing with them that we have a curricular guide in the United States that all 11 colleges of podiatric medicine will put together, everything from basic sciences to clinical sciences, and that we're willing to share that. It's not that everything has to be the same, but at least get the cart going in the right direction.
We've actually shared it with them.
Have you already?
We've shared it with MPODE, so they know what our curriculum is.
Okay.
We've shared it with the other communities in Europe, so they understand where we're coming from and how we built our system. And, the folks at the universities here in Europe take a look at that. The educators, they get it. They understand it. It's the rest of the folks in practice and that have to join and get together and here with the educators that make and understand.
So what do you think the history of FIP is? I mean, not the history, the future.
The future is, I think it's bright. I think what we're seeing here in this conference, everybody together, everybody's passionate about podiatry here, even at all the different levels. Right? The future is bright. They understand, everybody understands that in order to be successful, we have to band together and grow as a profession. And there's lots of resources, and we've been able to share lots of resources these few days. Share resources to grow together as a profession.
Absolutely. And what would you say to a podiatrist anywhere in the world about joining with FIP?
Oh, I think it's a must. I think help grow your profession. Make sure your country has joined FIP to grow a better, stronger podiatric professional.
Amen. Thanks, man. You're back. Thanks for joining me. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Jensen with Weisz Chat, and I'm joined today by one of my colleagues from England, Stuart, Baird, and we're at the Global Podiatry Summit meeting in Reykjavic, Iceland. Thanks for joining me, Paul.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So as you and I had talked, I had the opportunity to work in England 30 years ago, and had just a wonderful time. I just wanted to ask you about your practice in England, perhaps how you got involved with the International Federation of Podiatrists. The floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Steve. I suppose first thing is, this one just in England, Scotland as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm an Emeritus Professor at Glasgow University, which really means I'm just a retired layman. And I was head of the Department of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery in Glasgow University for about 20 years. So in that time, scope of practice has changed dramatically in the UK. And at undergraduate level, which we have a 4-year debate student, and we have access to the prescription medicines, injected steroids, antibiotics, and that's at the point of graduation. So our students have medicine, surgery, biochemistry, histology, anatomy, physiology in the curriculum. And at the point of graduation, they are licensed to use local anesthesia. They will do soft tissue surgery, neurosurgery, etc. However, bone surgery is a postgraduate qualification, and that is quite a lengthy process to go through the podiatric surgery training. You would start off with your basic degree from your undergraduate school. You would then progress to a master's degree in pediatric surgery, which is a theoretical component of the training. And you would then, once you completed that, go on to do, it's usually like 3 years of what you would call a residency program, where you start off doing very basic clerking on patients for such a process, and then move up to taking part in the surgery assembly, and all the way up to the point when you get the fellowship and put into surgery. At that point, you're then able to apply consultancy. So there's a process by which you must go through to get to such a qualification.
Can you define consultancy for us?
Consultancy is probably a UK term very much, and it means that you are fully qualified, you can do the complete scope of practice unsupervised, and you can work within the NHS and in private practice. So a consultant podiatric surgeon has got the rights to work in a private practice, in a private hospital, as well as in an NHS we do.
So I remember when I was there, we worked at the Nuffield.
Yes.
Do they still have to?
They do.
Okay.
They do have the Nuffield. They're there. There's the Nuffield, there's Spire, there's a whole lot of them. So to get a podiatric surgeon post within one of those hospitals, you must be a consultant, and hold an NHS consultancy.
That makes sense. So let me ask you more about the Britain, the England, Scotland. Let's talk about how many colleges and schools in podiatric medicine there are. How many?
There are 13 schools of podiatry, 2 in Scotland. There was one in Northern Ireland, in Belfast. There's one in Galway.
I've been to Galway for that.
It was Glasgow Calgary University degree that Galway modelled on.
Okay, very good.
So, and then coming to England, there's a school of podiatry in Durham, Manchester, Huddersfield, etc. There's a lot of them. And then there's one in Wales. So it's spread through the country, the academic world. And we've progressed into a real academic university setting in podiatry. And it's research-based, it's evidence-based. We have a lot of PhD students within the university setting as well. Most universities have some form of postgraduate education. So it's become a real academic subject within the university world.
That's fabulous. What percentage of graduates want to take the opportunity to get further training to do voluntary?
That's a good question. That I couldn't give you a precise percentage, but it varies in different parts of the country. And it also varies within the orthopaedic profession's dominance. And we'll sometimes find this. With Scotland, for example, there are only 3 podiatric surgeons. In other parts of England, it's really well staffed. So it's difficult with a precise figure on the number of orthopedic surgeons in one. One of the things which is helping podiatric surgery very much is the diabetes field and limb salvage. And there's some great models. There's one run by a chap, Dan Weiss, who's awesome, and also another consultant called Matt Tushio, who's an Australian, and they are working in Swindon, and they have the most fabulous sensor where they do all the limb salvage or dialysis foot work. And there's a little YouTube video which is produced by NHS England, which really supports them doing surgical practice with orthopedics and diabetology and vascular surgery, all seeing what a brilliant service as it is, and how much money this saved the hospital.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. You know, many years ago, I came over to England and I was training doctors and podiatrists and using the total contact and ask. And we got involved with the Solar Trust.
Yeah.
And with Graham Bowen, I left in the and they did show some real positive results and cost savings too, shifting some of the money from the hospital to the outpatient clinic, so preventive.
Absolutely. And I think we've developed a very, very valuable diabetes nephron addiction. And some of the data we have in Scotland is fantastic. We have a centralised database called SNI-DC, and every diabetic patient is registered on that database. So when you have a podiatric contact, you enter the details and it just populates the data. You then look at ulceration, forthcomings, etc. So there is a very robust data set that's in SNI-DC, which is something that professionally, I don't know about in the States, but certainly in the UK it has been lacking in happy years is data to support us.
We're catching up too with the registries, and I think that big data and understanding, how are we gonna control something for them, manage it? I'm something to follow. It's so important. So tell me about your participation in FIT.
In FIT, as well as being a university academic, I was also Dean of the Faculty of Podiatric Medicine at the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow, and also a past chairman of the Royal College of Podiatry in London.
Okay.
So I've been really working in the international world for longer than I chose to longer. And I think I go back many years to Paul Shenton, for example. He was president of the FIP and Gwen French. And so it's a lot of an association for maybe 32 years with the FIP.
Oh, that's fabulous. So you've been to a lot of meetings.
I have.
What do you think about the Reykjavic meeting?
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I think the setting is wonderful. I think Iceland is wonderful. And it's great to get the international community together. And we have our differences, we have our problems. But unless we work together, we're not going to develop perfection.
Well, that's interesting. One of the reasons I mentioned scope of practice and the United States being state-driven is not unlike in the world being country-driven. And so having similar educational processes, similar clinical training processes will lift everybody.
It will. And, one of my talks tomorrow is about diabetes and medial income to diabetes. And we were developed one and we're so lucky to have a profession which is recognised, is developed, it's working with the diabetic population. When you move it forward, the third of the world and the developing countries, there's such a gap between what we have and what they have. And I did a lot of work in India with the Scottish Government grant, which I won, and was out in India a lot with the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons in Glasgow. And we looked at the inequalities, etc. Part of my talk tomorrow is about monetary cost. And in the States, I think the state, in general, totality, they spend about $8,200 per patient with diabetes. And that's according to the International Diabetes Federation. It's like in India and Pakistan, it's 114 real. So how can you even care when you've got such a disparity in the amount of funding that goes to the situation?
Well, we have similar issues when you look at the amputational rates. And if we isolate individual amputations, that's a $90,000 bill over 2 years. We can provide a lot of care for $10,000. But you got to have the infrastructure to do it. Absolutely. All right, Baird. Well, Stuart, I so appreciate you joining me for a few minutes. Thanks for sharing your experience.
It's been great.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Jensen again, back at the Global Podiatry Summit in Reykjavic, Iceland. I'm joined by my guest today, Christian Jerome. He's from France. Welcome to Dean's Chat.
Thank you.
So Christian and I were just on a
panel where we're discussing global educational opportunities, and we got chatting, and thank you for agreeing to join me on a discussion on education.
It's a pleasure.
Tell us about podiatry in France.
Podiatry in France is very particular in terms of the studies that you do. For example, you go to a school for 3 years, and after that you get a graduation, which is called a diplôme d'état, state diploma, okay, which has the level of a license, okay, 3 years, and nearly 95% of the podiatrists, which are called pedicure podologue, we have a double term, okay, because at the beginning they were just pedicure, pedicurist, okay, and then we added podologue because we had some more things to do, like insoles and many more abilities to practice our job. So after you do it 3 years, this 95% of the people they work in private practice, and only about 5% they work in hospitals, and mainly now into diabetic field, but because that's really the one which unites the living with all the profession, I think.
Kind of puts everybody in alignment, does it?
Yeah,
The diabetic.
exactly. I think I must say that once the podologue became involved into diabetes, it was like the key in opening the door of the health professional families. Beautiful. And that's where at one stage, finally, the podologue finally was recognized as a health professional.
Okay. So tell me, how many schools or colleges for podiatry are there in France?
In France, I think there are about 12 or 15 schools. Okay. They are all like small promotion between 20 and 80 students and not more. It's 3 years of the practice, and they are a bit everywhere in France. Some are private school, and some others are linked to the university, and they all deliver the same diploma.
Okay, very good. So what would you say the bread and butter of bread and butter? You know what I mean? The normal practice is it biomechanics? Is it understanding normal and abnormal function of the foot? Is it adjusting the orthotics, for example?
Yeah.
How much of it is soft tissue? I mean, how does it work?
It's really like global looking after the foot and everything goes with it. So you can come for a simple treatment, like you have your nails teared, or you have calluses which are removed, but you can also come because you have something else like, Morton syndrome or something like that. Then you can have insoles which are made, but also the profession is very involved in prevention. And we do not have surgery. There is a lot of other way of trying to help people. For example, we can do braces for the ingrown toenails, which are like an orthodontist, and we do that, and it gives me good results. It's a good alternative for surgeries. Okay, we can also do like silicone devices, which are not custom made, but are really made for one patient. So you can do that yourself, and this is very important because when you think there is no feet which is the same. Nobody has the same feet. But once you want to customize things for everybody, that's where the problem starts.
Sure. So that makes sense. Well, I always tell people in the United States, we have 350 million people, but most people have 2 feet and 10 toes. There's a lot of things to go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Well, very good. So how did you get involved with the International Federation of Podiatrists?
So, in fact, I am married to an English woman, so that helped me a lot in terms of language. So my English went much better than the level of normal French people. Sorry for my French colleagues, but yeah.
I think you're very eloquent in English.
Thank you. So this helped me a little bit, and then the presidents of the National Federation at one stage went to see me and said, it could be involved in an international level for France, and that could help us a little bit. And that's why 10 years ago, I came to Reykjavic because we had the General Assembly here in Reykjavic, and that's why I became a board member of FIP. And then I went all the steps, and I was then the president of the International Federation. And now I am the past president, but still involved a little bit, because I think really that we have to create this vision and maybe this voice of podiatry.
I love that. So important. So you're the just immediate past president.
I am the past president. So but the problem is, in the last few years, there have been many changes. For example, the last president just resigned at Christmas because he couldn't cope psychologically with all the work which is to be done when you are president. So there has been 2 presidents, but none of them finished the term.
And I said, well, maybe they need you to come back. We'll help some.
That would be nice, but I think my wife wouldn't agree on that.
That's great. So what would you tell a podiatrist anywhere in the world about FIP and why they should become a member of the International Federation of Podiatrists?
I think the main thing, which is, it first reassures you on what you do on your local level. Because sometimes when you speak to other people from other countries and you hear that they're doing roughly the same as you are doing, that helps to build your confidence. So this is good. And also now, after that, it's nice to share also what you know, and also help people to enlighten a little bit also what they do in their country. So it's a really great gathering of people, and also you learn how to mingle, and I love it so much.
I've really enjoyed the collaborative camaraderie of everybody from all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. Thank you for joining me at Dean's Chat today.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. It's Jeff Jensen with Dean's Chat. I'm with my esteemed colleague, Robert Ashfield. Welcome to Dean's Chat, Robert.
Wow, it's great to be here, Jeffrey.
Well, it's so great to see you again. I haven't seen you since 2018.
Is that really that long ago?
That's when I went into the Royal College with you.
Okay. Yes, I'm out time ago.
So how have you been doing?
I'm okay. I'm working. Retired from academia full time.
Yes.
I'm still working at a university.
Which university?
University of Wales at Davidson Trinians.
Okay, very good. I knew you were retired, but I've been watching you around the International Federation of Podiatry meeting, and you don't look retired.
Well, thank you. I'll say that's a compliment. Yeah, I've been about for a number of years. Actually, I've been FIP. I've been to many of the meetings. The last one was in Miami.
Yes,
So you're there, 2019.
it was not there, but I was like,
I was the last one. But there's been Amsterdam, Gothenburg,
yes.
Paris, Paris. So yeah, I've been around.
No, that's great. So, it's been such a wonderful experience here in Reykjavic, Iceland. But I'm interested in, you've had such a storied career. Can you share with us your career in the UK? And I know that it could potentially be a long story, but we have heard.
A long story. Okay, where did we start? I qualified way back in the 70s.
Okay.
I worked in NHS in the UK. I'd ever used my state route to academia.
Yes.
I'm beginning to have a full, so it's for 4 and 5 years. Being that Canadian. Last 20 years before the time, I headed up a postgraduate school. And we were basically training PhD students from different disciplines. I found some work as podiatrists.
Real?
Yeah, there was medics in there, nurses, psychologists, but with podiatrists were for the big disappointing. I went there. I moved to a place called the West Midlands, Birmingham.
Yes.
They're in the UK, Alabama.
I've been to Brady.
So I moved there. I've been there for 2 years now.
So I have a question for you. Back about 30 years ago, and I was a resident, we had an exchange program in England. Kurt Hospital out of Detroit.
Okay.
And I came over here for 2 weeks, and I spent that 2 weeks in Shrewsbury area.
with Michael Allard Williams.
Okay, yeah, ring the bell.
And then I went down to London and I worked with Mark Teitel.
I know that.
And then I also worked in Hereford, but I can't remember the doctors I worked with.
Tom Galloway.
Yes.
Nick.
And Nick Gilbert. Oh, very good. Small world.
Okay, good job.
So, from the United States, we have to use the podcast. So most of my audience is from the United States. Can you explain what podiatry is like in England?
Well, podiatry has taken off in the last 20, 30 years. We've managed to get up to degree status, and that came in the 80s. But what I now see is that a lot of people have now got academic qualifications, higher level, so moving in towards what PhDs, to have PhDs here, but also do postdocs, what we call it. I'm not sure if you've ever seen in the States, you do a postdoc, yeah? So a lot of my students were postdocs, but they weren't podiatrists, but they were postdocs. And I think there's a lot of postdocs posts that are available to the UK if podiatrists want to go down the academy. How about you?
That's interesting because when I've been talking to our colleagues from around the world, I've watched in the United States the progression of the professional career. I've seen it also in England, and it's taken a lot of hard work by a lot of great people.
Well, it's, well, we don't see hard work because it's our thing.
It's our passion. That's right, Larson. So
It's just something you do, and you do it for your profession. You use your colleagues, and you come to a meeting with this, it's all worthwhile.
It's like youngsters here.
Anything all comes through with their ideas, a bit of few sessions here, some good research. And so it's lovely to see.
Profession's kind of defined by its research and publications, so we're making tremendous strides with the profession.
Indeed, I think I've been promulgating that for many years, and it has been a struggle in the UK initially, because people raise anecdotal in terms of their clinical practice and this is the way we do it. But I think with there's now recognition, the research is in common, and that's been the case for the last 10 or 50 years in the UK.
At some of the states with evidence-based medicine, it's really changed the game for these.
Indeed. Well, I'm coming to the States of Detroit, in fact.
You do?
Well, I used to go there twice a year.
Okay.
I'm invited to Martel, and I brought the concept to the evidence-based approach to the States, well, to my podiatric colleagues. And I'm very topping in between. I didn't need to do it right, because maybe 20 years ago, it wasn't what we're saying, particularly the world wasn't, because what you boys wanted to improve your codes.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
There's multiple battles going on at any given time.
Yeah. So I tried to sort of get this concept of evidence-based approach. It didn't happen actually. Now it's happening. All people are recognizing the importance of collaboration and mixing research with other professionals, not just podiatry.
Absolutely. Robert, can you say a few words about the International Federation of Podiatry?
The flag was unfortunately my UK colleagues come out on another 5p. For various reasons, but recently to it's a great organisation. It's pretty simple together. And we'll actually planning was saying forward in terms of the professional. And I think this was on this, and we have the chamber called the London College here. So I think there's maybe a move towards integrative the UK back into the academy. But it's great to see guys from across the world all meeting and work for us.
Absolutely. We thought you'd retire and become a politician.
Both were. There's not enough money to do.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true. Cool. Yeah. Well, I look forward to tomorrow. You and I are on an education panel.
And I've got a surprise for you.
I know you told me that. I can't wait to find out.
Well, maybe we'll fill it tomorrow.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I thank you for joining me into this chat, and I look forward to working with you now and down the road. Thanks, Rob. Thank
you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed these short little snippets of interviews, if you will, with leaders from around the world. We're going to do one more episode with more leaders, and I hope you enjoyed them. I sure had fun filming them, and thanks again for tuning to Dean's Chat. If you're on Apple or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating, and if you're on YouTube, by all means, become a subscriber. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye now.